The Amazing Brain, Lesson 2. Did you know that your brain is faster and more powerful than a supercomputer? Think about this. Close your eyes and think about what I'm going to say. You have a kitten. The kitten is in the kitchen. She is about to step on the hot oven, and you only have seconds to act. Immediately, you get a signal coming from your eyes. Your brain quickly calculates when, where, what speed you will need to leap across the kitchen and stop her. Then your brain orders your muscles to spring across the kitchen, grab the kitten, just in time. Oh, thank goodness she is safe. There isn't any computer on earth that can come close to your brain's ability to download, process, and react to all the information coming from your eyes, ears, fingers, nose, and mouth. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Check out your brain map. This map shows where in your brain certain information is stored so that your body can do things. For instance, did you know that the part of your brain that recognizes smells is right here in the front of your brain? And your emotion and your personality is also right here near the top. Your speech, it's way back here. Movement is controlled back here so that you can recognize when you need to move. And look, here's touch. Sight is in the back of your brain, along with balance and coordination. Hearing is right about here, and learning and your memory is stored right there. Isn't that amazing? So we have our frontal lobe, our parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, the temporal lobe, the cerebellum, and your brain stem. Isn't that cool? That's what your brain looks like. Well, maybe not in all these colors, but that is the shape of your brain. Did you know that exercise helps make you smarter? Did you know that? It is well known that any type of exercise that makes your heart beat faster, like running or playing a sport, is not only just great for your body, but it can also help improve your mood. But scientists have recently learned that for a period of time after you've exercised, your body produces a chemical that makes your brain want and is more willing to learn. So, think about this. If you're stuck on some tricky schoolwork, ask your mom or your dad or your grandma if you can go outside and run around the house for a while. Then come back and tackle that problem again. You might discover that you're much more able to solve it after you do some exercise. It wakes you up. Now here's a crazy question. Did you know that you have an amygdala? Sounds pretty crazy, isn't it? Can you say amygdala? So, right here in the brain, this is where your amygdala is located. It's like the size or the shape of an almond, and it's tucked way deep inside the center of your brain. Have you ever been scared and you jumped and screamed, "Ah!" Well, that reaction when your body automatically jumped and you kind of let out a "Ah!" scream, that actually came from your amygdala. Your amygdala teaches us that sometimes our brain is flooded with emotion. But there's good news. It's not our fault. When we feel nervous or overwhelmed, it's your amygdala taking over your body. And here's some even better news. We can control it. Your parents and your family help you deal with your emotions as you're growing up so that you don't feel overwhelmed. So when your parents are like, don't worry about it, they are teaching you a strategy of, okay, I gotta let it go. And they're serious, like it's true. It's going to be something that you don't need to worry about. Your family teaches you strategies to help you control your emotions or control your amygdala. So there's the amygdala. Then do you see this like lighter colored pink? Well, that is your prefrontal cortex. Can you say prefrontal cortex? Matter of fact, put your hand on your forehead and rub your prefrontal cortex. Oh, this is the most important part of your brain. Not that the other parts aren't, but listen. This is the part of your brain that helps us make good choices, think clearly, and control our impulses. We also use this part of the brain to pay attention. So, why don't you just reach up there and rub it again? Okay? Relax your prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is so powerful. Well, let me back up. It is so powerful for you to understand that your brain controls all of your actions. So no more saying, I don't know why I did that. Well, your brain told you to do that. Okay? So you can't use that excuse anymore. And there are things that you can do to stretch and grow your brain and regulate your emotions. We already went over that you can exercise. Well, you can also exercise this part of your brain as you learn new things. This part of your brain helps us to concentrate, make choices, and be our best. It also helps us with the tricky little things that might not be as easy for each one of us. Here's a little interesting fact about the prefrontal cortex. It is actually the last part of your brain to fully develop. Did you know that that part of your brain is not done growing or developing until you are about 25 years old? Can you believe it? Now, I'm going to tell you something. As you get older, you're going to use that prefrontal cortex to make good decisions. Sometimes they're not going to be that good. But people who use drugs and drink alcohol at any time of their age, but especially those that are teenagers and in their young 20s, if you use drugs or drink alcohol, this part of your brain will not fully develop. Isn't that scary? So stay away from drugs and alcohol when you are growing up. Like, just stay away from them because you want a brain that is going to be fully developed. Now, the next part of your brain, which is this blue section here, It almost looks like hippopotamus, but it's called the hippocampus. Can you say hippocampus? Good. This is the part of the brain that is important for remembering details and storing all of your memories. Remembering is important. If you can't retain what you learned, let's say in kindergarten, well, first grade or whatever grade is coming up next is going to be pretty tricky. So you need your brain in order to learn. So let's go over those 3 parts of your amazing brain. Ready? We have the amygdala, the emotions. We have the prefrontal cortex. Making good choices. Rub it. Rub your prefrontal cortex. And the hippocampus. Oh, please let me remember what I learned. Okay? So, amygdala, prefrontal cortex, hippocampus. Good job. Now, let's strengthen our focus. Let's train that brain.
Staying focused on what you are doing can be so challenging. But when you harness the power of your attention, it can make you stronger and more capable to take on your day. Stand steady in mountain, with your feet about hip-width apart, your shoulders relaxed, and your palms facing forward and your body tall. Shift your weight onto your left foot and slowly lift your right leg off the ground. Bring the sole of your foot onto the inside of your leg, either below or above your knee. Lift your arms. As you work to get steady, let your gaze rest on this dot on the screen. Keep your eyes focused on this spot, and it will help your mind and your body get steady and focused as well. If you find your body wobbling or your attention wandering, just lower your foot down, regain your focus, and then lift back up. Inhale, exhale. Bring your knee back to front, lower your arms and your foot down to the ground. Now, lift your left foot and bring it to the inside of your right leg. When you're ready, lift your arms overhead. Inhale, exhale. Let's try a little experiment. As the dot moves around, keep watching it and notice what happens in your body. Is it harder to stay balanced? If you fall out of this pose, just pause and then pick your foot back up. Lower your foot down and stand in mountain. Come back to tree with your right foot lifted onto your left leg. Lift your arms overhead and stay focused on that green dot as you find your balance. If the blue dot distracts you and you lose your balance, just place your foot down, focus on the green dot, and lift it back up. Inhale, exhale. Each time you lose focus, notice that you've lost focus, and then bring your attention back to the green dot. You're exercising your focus muscles. Bring your foot to the ground. Pause in mountain pose. Then lift your left foot and bring it to your right leg. Reach your arms up and feel your foot root into the ground. Get steady and watch the dot glow on the screen. Inhale, exhale. Come back to stand and bring one hand onto your heart and one onto your belly. Close your eyes or keep them focused on the screen. What are the things that distract you in your life? Throughout the day, as you notice those things that try to pull your attention, remember, your focus muscle is strong.
Good job. I hope you feel relaxed. These are different exercises that you can do at any time of the day. But let's work those brains.